It's here, folks. It's leak season, apparently, when the community's fanfiction writers come out the woodwork to sell us their stories and chase for clout, showing off their friends and family and significant others who work for Blizzard or they used to work for Blizzard, yada yada yada. And I love leak season. It takes some of the best ideas of World of Warcraft discourse and turns it into a fanfiction story told in bullet points. It's fun, it's really cringe, and that's about as serious as I take them. And real quick, here's why. Do you really think that one person inside Blizzard can go around and learn as much information as they do without it being super obvious? How many people would know so many details about each of the facets of the game, from like the production schedule to what's in this cinematic thing, what the gameplay and the features and the systems and the lore are going to be like? In most situations, the only folks with that sort of knowledge, even at a basic level, would be like producers who have to know everything that's going on so they can, plan a schedule. But they probably wouldn't have much of, if any, of the more intimate details like what we usually read. As well as, I guess the game director would know a lot of this stuff. So I guess we definitely know who's been making these leaks. Historically, there have been a handful of leaks, but none of them have come from a disgruntled ex-senior developer. It was more so like a leaked promo picture from BlizzCon, or a store that opened up a little bit too early, or a PTR build that revealed a bit more than it should have. That said, leak season is fun. Someone compiled as much as they could from the Shadowlands leak season with nearly 100 or so leaks. Some were obvious jokes, while others were really good attempts to mess with the player discourse. I speculate that within a month or so, we're going to get a 10.0 announcement, and so, maybe a little bit early, in come the leaks. I also predict that this upcoming expansion announcement is going to be much more secure than the Shadowlands announcement because, all of us are home. There's no BlizzCon, there's no BlizzCon line, but if anything is going to be found, it'll be found trying to scour through Blizzard websites for pages that shouldn't be there. But anyway, let's start reading. So I at least want to take a quick look at, just a really quick glance at some of these older leaks. Like, some of these are like awesome. I think like the person who put this together, they even put in like a score to talk about, I guess, the best ones or the most relevant ones, whatever. But like Wrath of the Bolvar, I think that was a joke one. I don't know why that's the most highly voted one, but there was Twilight of the Aspects, which I believe was a patch. I think that was the name of one of the Cataclysm patches, like the last one. There's Razor Pax's leak, which is okay, whatever. List of collector editions, art leak, Twilight of the Dragonflight, Age of Exploration, Dragon's Wrath. Oh, the Shadowlands. Okay, this person at least got the name right. The Icy Winds of Northrend. Yeah, there were a lot of people that were trying to take us back to, do Wrath of the Lich King Part 2. That would have been what, the Shadowlands based story would have been, but there were a ton of them. And my hope is that the 10.0 is going to have almost as healthy of a fanfiction / leak season as before. So there are 3, I think, that I have that I pulled out so far, and some of these have been going around in social media. I think there's some there's some videos that are going around focused on these. I'm gonna look at 3 of them. We're just gonna kind of do a quick fire. We're gonna read them off. We're gonna react. We're gonna mostly talk smack, and let's go. This one starts off as a 10.0 leak, straight up. Okay, so posting on a throwaway for obvious reasons, like it's fake. Here it is, the actual leak, taken from a private game dev Discord last night. Oh, so this is a new angle. This is something that was done on a private Discord, not like Slack or anything, because that's internal in Blizzard, and whoever's involved with that would totally get caught. But a game dev Discord, I would figure that the thing that would leak from a game dev Discord would probably be like misogynistic talk or something like that. Here is what, current employees are saying about women I would figure that we would see something like that, but no, we're going to talk, a bunch of dudes are going to get together and mouth off on all the things that they know about the expansion, and someone else, maybe one of these people or someone who somehow got in, was just kind of like taking notes, or they're like, wow, this is a lot of stuff going on, please continue, and they're just like recording all this stuff. It's hilarious. The next X pack is straight up called the Dragon Isles. Nice and naked. All marketing being put together has the tagline, Azeroth has awoken. You know, that actually already kind of conflicts with itself, right? If the next expansion is called Dragon Isles, why is all the marketing being put together? Why does it all have the tagline Azeroth has awoken? Then shouldn't the expansion be called Azeroth has awoken, or something like that? Maybe it's because, oh, we already did Battle for Azeroth, so we shouldn't have Azeroth in like the expansion name again. Oh, that's brilliant, Rick. That's freaking brilliant, Rick from marketing. Yeah, I know, Jeff from design. Yeah, it's like all marketing. This is bull. This is total bull. No way is marketing being put on this now. I mean, sure, there might be something with, okay, if this was like BlizzCon or something, then they're going to be producing merch or some stuff like that, talking about Azeroth has awoken, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not very good at, I'm not a marketer though, so what the hell do I know? New zone, the Dragon Isles, obviously. New race, Black Dragons. Just Black Dragons, not other dragons, only Black Dragons. This will be cool to explain, considering that most of the Black Dragons are dead. But no, let's just make a whole race of them. A new clutch. You know what that means, right? That kind of means that if you make a new character, you are like 5 years old. Your character is like a little baby, and you should, or maybe you're, I don't know. We'll see if there's like an intro for this thing. Otherwise, the whole Black Dragon as a new race sounds like a lot of crap. Okay, end of Shadowlands, because of course they have to explain the end of Shadowlands for clout. In the fight with the jailer, Azeroth is ruptured. We beat the jailer and we save the planet, but there are consequences. Some stay a while and listen events after the fight describe the state of Azeroth. Magni reverts to diamond form. Okay, so it's like Magni was empowered with the force of the planet, and now that she is weakened, they suck all the power gets sucked back in. Or, I don't know. 9.2.5, interesting. A pre-expansion event. Oh, that sounds like, well, why not 10.0? Maybe they typoed. A mental typo. A pre-expansion event is being put together, and it's huge. Lots of reused events like earthquakes and invasions, but also a massive time walking event that's being designed as a mini season of mastery across lots of Azeroth-centric dungeons and raids. Developers want players familiar with the history of Azeroth before 10.0, a big tour of old events and lore. I guess this kind of borrows from the 15-year anniversary raid event where we went through a number of raids, so it feels like it's sort of like that, but it's being quoted as a mini season of mastery. That kind of sounds cool, but what does that entail? If it's a season of mastery, are all of us being like permanently or temporarily reset back to like level whatever, and then we're just kind of playing through things again? But yeah, we're going through dungeons and raids, and yeah, that feels it feels nice and vague, but plenty of ways to get us to speculate and dream up some new stuff. Crazed Trogs, Quilboar, Manton, and Elemental invasions across most of Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, Northrend, and Pandaria. New world boss, Garadon, son of Galakron. So Garadon was around chillin', and nobody knew about it, right? Galakron is like super ancient, right? And he's super dead. But Garadon is like, hey, what's up? Still around, nobody knew. Super Dragon, let's go. So Trogs, Quilboar, Manted, and Elemental invasion. So that's the best that the bad guys could really come up with. No Murlocs. Come on. No Murlocs. How do you not have crazed Murlocs? That would have been way more convincing than crazed. Trogs are not scary. Murlocs are right behind you right now. Trogs, come on, dude. Even if this is real, no, not Trogs. Replace Trogs with freaking Murlocs. Way cooler. Way cooler. Okay, new X-Pack. Tenno Cinematic being put together is the biggest Blizz have ever produced. Entire cinematic team has been developing for this for over a year. All Shadowlands pre-rendered cinematics were scrapped, and whole team moved on to this. Is a love letter to Azeroth, mirrors the original WoW launch cinematic, and ends with Azeroth being born. So we have, we have like probably like some lore people that are in this private Discord. We have the cinematic team, I guess, that is that is a part of this. We got marketing. We got a lot of people in this Discord. That's a lot of people that might get fired. Cinematic. It sounds cool though. Mirroring the original WoW launch cinematic and ending with Azeroth being born. I would love to see like a really long cinematic where they cover like all the races and stuff, and they give us like a really quick, high res, high definition sort of look at each of them. I would love to see like Nightborn. I'd love to see freaking gnomes, regular gnomes. I don't think they've been in a high fidelity cinematic ever. And then maybe we'll see mecha gnomes right alongside them. That would be pretty cool. That scratches that itch. As a result of the Jailer's assault, Azeroth the Eternal is born from the world's soul. She's a dragon, sort of. Why is she a dragon? Why is she a dragon? I guess, are dragons indigenous to Azeroth? I could have swore that there was like, I'm not going to remember this right, but I thought dragons had something to do with elementals, and elementals were, most of them were sealed by the Titans, but some of them weren't. And so they were like, hey, we're going to do our own thing. And then the elementals like evolved into dragons. I don't remember too well, but kind of weird. All world souls are unique, which sounds obvious, and Azeroth's essence has indirectly shaped the planet for eons. That makes sense to me. The dragons are tied directly to Azeroth, who is sort of the dragon progenitor. I'd have to double check like the lore stuff. I'm not sure if like proto dragons or whatever, did they come from Azeroth or were they something else? I thought that they were something else, and then they evolved. Kind of like how the Titans made stone people and stuff, and they eventually became most of the races that we've seen, but oh well. Once players reach Dragon Isles, I'll have to skim, but I was just thinking Dragon Isles, why can't Dragon Isles be in the sky? But whatever. Once they reach the Dragon Isles, they work directly with Azeroth to, quote, reshape the world. The story here is that the planet has taken a beating over the last couple decades and is having dire consequences for everyone living there. Azeroth as a character described sort of like Lilu from Fifth Element. I do remember the movie. So, okay, a supreme being, but with the mind of a child, and you can't understand a damn thing that she's saying. And love is the answer. I've already spoiled this leak of an expansion. Players need to help her unlock her powers to heal the planet. She's in a temple on Dragon Isles with Thrall and Rathian. Lots of Earth Order lore, as the three of them try to do what Deathwing couldn't. Destroy Azeroth? I'm sure I'm missing something there. Azeroth has her own talent tree, looks very much like old school talent trees from Classic. Wow, that's nice. Talent trees are back, guys, but we're giving it to, this new end game progression system instead. Players can help her by training her via this tree. Each talent is also usable by players through the World Bond ability. World Bond. That sounds very Blizzard. That sounds almost convincing. New abilities like Covenant abilities, but no additional locked-in choices. Everyone gets the same abilities. Okay. Abilities have secondary effects depending on the zone that you're in. One example is an ability like Abomination Limb that also works as a grapple hook. So it's like grapple. So it's like grapple hook. Dragon Isle zones will change over time via world shaping. Some pretty cool massive changes, like a whole zone turning from a desert into a forest. The zone is one zone is very heavily elf focused, with night elves trying to discover a way to restore Teldrassil with Azeroth's help. What? No, that doesn't sound right, right? Teldrassil was a mistake. Well, not a mistake, but it was made unilaterally by one dude who became a raid boss, and we beat his ass. And of course, you know, it's their home, whatever. But that's a weird way of writing it. To discover a way to restore Teldrassil. Why restore it? It's gone, dude. Why don't they focus on, hey, Azeroth, you know, we could use some of your juice. Can we get some of your juice so we can just plant a new tree? And Azeroth's like, you know, goo goo gaga, here you go. And, you know, she hooks them up. Yeah. Oh well. You plant trees and tend to a huge forest there, like a massive version of the mob farm. Oh, nice. So as the Horde, you can like chop all the trees down and then keep your war machine going. Brilliant. World shaping unlocks new abilities in each zone. Water walking, flying, teleporting, spectral sight, treasure finding and such. That's cool. I love seeing like more outdoor world perks. The ones in Shadowlands, they were okay, but they could have been like way better. Black dragons, here we go. Works like Worgen. Customize your dragon form and humanoid appearances. Humanoid can be any race. Ah, interesting. So you have two forms. You have your so you choose black dragons as the race, but you choose your sub form, which means you can be any race. Extra customization options for humanoid form include horns, tails, jewelry, scales, as well as burning eyes and molten blood, which is a cool new effect. No way. The only reason why I think this won't work out so well is because, well, one, it sounds like what's the main form? Because, you know, Worgen, they primarily look like puppies, right? And in this case, it kind of asserts that you'll mostly look like a humanoid race, but you're just going to have some more customization options. And the reason why I think this is messed up is because people would totally bitch. It's like, okay, cool, Blizz, thanks for giving us a new race, but I want this really cool thing that a black dragon cool Tyrion has, but I just want it as a cool Tyrion, right? Does that make sense? I think people would be, you know, both excited and hella pissed off over something like this. Dragon form is okay. I should just read the rest. And dragon form is mainly used for travel and to racial abilities. Story will explain why black dragons need to learn how to fight like mortals as one of the classes. Because, well, no. All of them. Shouldn't all of them be mortal at this point? You know, all the dragons had their juju drained out, and now they just have. They probably still have long lives, but they don't have dope ass powers the way that they used to. I don't remember Cataclysm as well as I should, but yeah, more. No, that doesn't. That feels like a lore flub that makes most of this fall apart. Black dragons can be warriors, mage, rogus, druids, huntars, warlocks, priestesses, shamans, and paladins. What? They can be paladins too? All the original WoW classes, including paladins. The light is like, I guess, whatever. Black Dragon Druid. Oh yeah, Druid. Black Dragon Druid lore and shapeshift forms are super fun. Yeah, I'd love to see a Black Dragon pop treant form. That'd be Brilliant. Rathian has been trying to restore the Black Dragon flight since Kata via fornication. Players are new dragons that Rathian has been overseeing in the Dragon Isles. So Rathian did. So as far as I know, rumor has it, Rathian's been trying to find the Dragon Isles and did not find it. Up until the point of somewhere, I guess, towards the end of Battle for Azeroth or something like that. So within 2 years or so, he finds the Dragon Isles, and he is restoring the Black Dragon flight, which means that, like I was saying before, new dragons, you're all babies. That is so pedo. And then you shapeshift into like a fully grown human. And then you strip down into your slot. See where my mind went so quickly? Typical man. Oh my god. Rathian has recruited / kidnapped class trainers from all over Azeroth to train his new flight. The Warlock trainer will cause some players to flip out. That doesn't... I guess my excitement is like totally turned upside its head, because you'd be playing as a 2-year-old. No big bad in 10.0, but there are infinite dragons, nether wingses, and some new Dragon Isles specific proto races. There's a pretty fun Trog progenitor race that's actually super advanced and intelligent. Going back to smaller zone contained stories, big focus on discovery, soft booting Azeroth the planet, and setting up future conflicts. It's not bad. This wasn't a bad one. There's some cool takeaways, like world shaping sounds kind of interesting by phasing in like an entire zone. I hope that it wouldn't be phased in such a way that, it phases you out of other people. I would hope that it would be something like, cool, I'm standing in front of a big tree and someone else sees like a jacked up tree or a rock or something like that. So everyone is still kind of wandering around, sort of doing the same things, but things look a little bit different. But I guess if you're doing world shaping, not only should the environment change, but so should like the mob types that spawn around it. I always give praise about how WoW does such a great job of telling story through just what they present in the world. And, it would be awkward if you saw like, some flaming piece of turd monster or whatever, but you're in a lush forest or something like that. But not bad. What was it called again? Not bad, Dragon Isles. Not bad. Okay, let's move on to just some 10.0 leaks. Just a few bits and pieces of information. I love this. Fanfiction via bullet point. Excellent. Cross-faction grouping is coming, except for war mode. Makes sense. Not everyone, but lots of people have been asking for that. Cool. Cross-realm mythic raiding will open in the future, just a month after the raid release. I don't see that happening. Just because. LFR wings open each week instead of bi-weekly. This is a weird decision to make now, right? It's a weird thing to announce at the start of, before you announce an expansion. All right, guys, what's this expansion going to be called? What's it going to be about? And then someone in the back is like, we need to have LFR open each week. And then Ian is like, sure, whatever. And then the leaker's like, yeah, okay. So even more character customization, inspired by amazing fans and creators all over the internet. Wow. Okay. All missing heritage armor sets are coming with the pre-patch. All of them? Oh, that would kind of suck. That would sort of yeah, that would irritate me a little bit, because it's like, as a blood elf, I already got mine, and when people get, during the pre-expansion patch, I'll be like, oh, they got a thing, I don't get a thing. Oh, fiddlesticks, right? Heritage weapons coming on later with the expansion. Okay, now I am interested again. Heritage weapons, that'd be awesome. Not so awesome would be having to make like a complete set for each and every race. That sounds like a big pain in the butt, but I won't. More Time Walk in Love coming too. Plenty of quality of life features, including skips and teleports, and yeah, there are a lot of things that are being talked about here that they would almost like 0% talk about in an actual expansion announcement, including like the post announcement interviews and stuff. Dozens, if not hundreds, of cosmetic lists are at. This guy wins. This is it. This is it. This is the leak. All right. I buy into this. All right, cool. Yeah. Some of the removed quest lines are added back to the game, like legendary quest lines for the Cloak in Miss Pandaria and the Ring in Warlords of Draenor. No, I don't see a point in adding those back at all. Like, what, you really want that ring transmog? Get it? Yeah, that doesn't seem like a useful bullet point. Hey guys, new expansion. Guess what? We're going to restore the MOP and the WoD quest lines. A big, huge new reward system added to one of the main features of the expansion. Similar to Island Expedition loot, it includes plenty of unobtainable items, armor, and weapons used only by NPCs, items that are only in the files, or even some of the highly desired removed items from the past. How about that big new reward system is like professions? That would be amazing, right? Just, how about we just let the players make them and pay, and charge gold for them? Big shift towards customization, player expression, evergreen features, and systems. Wow, that's really specific. It's not a lot. Sadly, didn't get information about features, themes, or systems of new expansions besides the devs playing with ideas. I didn't go. He didn't even. That's boring. He didn't even try to give like a premise as to how this information was achieved or how it was learned. Sadly, I didn't get stuff about, convincing fun stuff besides the devs playing with ideas of rebuilding and modifying. Yeah, not the best. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. Rise of the Aspects. Leak. A disgruntled senior level designer at Blizzard who recently resigned. Wow, familiar. And is in my guild. Mentioned this during one of our raid nights last week to myself and two other officers. Their identity is known to us, so we know from their LinkedIn that they're okay, so here's how I imagine this going down. It's like last week they're doing, I don't know, they're doing Raid Finder Sanctum, and they're all playing together, doing stuff. Okay, not Raid Finder. It's got to be at least Heroic Sanctum, all right? Raid Lee is like, all right, dude, ready, check, and then this senior level designer who is very disgruntled. Hey guys, you want to know about the new expansion? Whoa! Stop the pull timer. Let's find out what this person has to say. It's like, what do you expect? Like, somewhere in these comments are we gonna hear from the two officers? Are we gonna hear from the two officers? Yeah, this is totally legit, dude. I was there, man. He was like mouthing off, and yeah, it's totally real. It's one of my favorite parts of leak season. It's like the premise. The last one, total like no effort. That's like a 2 out of 10, right? This original, if I were to give ratings to these, I'd give this one like a good solid 6, because nothing will ever be a 10. Good 6. This one is like a 3 or a 2. This is just boom, low effort, man. This one so far, much promise. I almost want to give it a 5 just based on this premise here. It's hilarious. The expansion will be unveiled in the first half of March on a YouTube live stream, which kind of makes sense. Patch 9.2 is set to release at the end of February. 9.2 has multiple cinematics. The final one will be available in week 2 with the Jailer. The expansion was revealed 2 days later for the following Thursday. No. I don't buy into this, mostly because they'd be ripping off their own thunder, right? Like, people like patch 9.2 just started. You know, this is what, like, it'll be unveiled in the first half of March. Well, regardless of when it's going to be, like, putting it out just after week 2 of the Jailer. Nah. Oh, no. I'm sorry. The expansion was revealed 2 days later. So, like, the week. Okay. I think I'm understanding this now. So, the third week of season 3, when the Jailer is first available, 2 days after that. I don't see that, because it would take too much of the excitement away from the patch. What would that do, really? People would play through it, people would be like busy playing and starting their fucking rep grind and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden they learn about the new expansion. That would just that would at least temporarily, like, kill off people's motivations to, like, even care to play, at least for a little while. It would make more sense if they announced this like 2 weeks or so before the launch of the patch, just to kind of keep that hype going and all that stuff. So that way, at the same time, Blizzard can announce and say, hey, this patch is coming. Here's a trailer, cool stuff. But hey, here's what's coming after that. Boom. Something like this is dumb marketing. And how would a senior level designer, like, know or even care about, where this is going to happen on YouTube and, when and all that stuff? They would have nothing to do with the release of a cinematic. It's like what I was talking about. How could one person know so much about everything? But let's get to it. Expansion name is called Rise of the Aspects. New continent, Dragon Isles. Very inspiring. 5 zones that are thematic to the different aspects. Oh, so he's getting into what these zones are. How cute. One zone is fully dedicated to end game content, a la Suramar. I hope they do it better than Suramar. This is the zone thematic to the Black Dragonflight. Rathian is a central character here. This is also the location of Deathwing's corruption, which the story will dive into. Vague and makes me curious. That's nice. The first raid is located in this zone, a massive old god temple a la Stormsong Valley, but larger. N'Zoth did not die and is in the background. So he's either the final boss, or he's going to be a dungeon boss. Oh, that'd be messed up. New PvE system. I hate saying system these days. I just like calling it. New PvE feature, layers. Procedurally generated cavern layers that will feature a variety of different bosses to fight. There are powers similar to Torghast. It'll be explained as a boss rush mode. There are very few packs of normal mobs. The core gameplay is heavily focused on boss fights. The system has a challenge mode style for cosmetic rewards. Think mage. Saying mage, it's like saying blockchain. Like you say blockchain and you people are like, huh? What? Think Mage Tower, but with several bosses and unique power. This has some conflicting things to it. So it's a procedurally generated cavern that will feature a variety of different bosses to fight. But it's a boss rush mode. There are very few packs of normal mobs. Why even have normal mobs if, as the second sentence says, the core gameplay is heavily focused on boss fights? And if it has powers similar to Torghast, is it really going to be like the Mage Tower with several bosses and unique powers and difficult tuning and yada 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 when you have powers similar to Torghast? No. So even if this was a Blizzard thing, this wouldn't sound like a very convincing thing for me. Like, Jailer's Gauntlet, I feel like it's going to be cool for what it is. Chances are people are going to bitch about the reward system that comes from Boss Rush, and then people will be like, oh, well, I just did it once and that was it. But then that's kind of the same thing as the Mage Tower, right? Oh, I did it once and like that was it, which is fine. But yeah, this feels like it's borrowing random things and throwing them together. And that, oh god, new class, Tinker. Of course, you gotta have this during league season. When do you not? It's a male class, of course, with 2 specs, a ranged DPS, with a gun, of course, with turrets and other gimmicks, and a mecha suit for tanking. This kind of sounds like an old video that I made where, yeah, they used like a big honking gun. They turned it into a mecha suit. You know, I remember I imagined a Tinker class as having like a gun or a backpack or whatever that also shot out like healing bubbles and stuff like that. That would have been inspiring. Anyway, key points: level cap increased to 70. Cool. Predictable. All time walking zones become 1 through 60. Shadowlands is added to Chromie time. Now, if I recall, there are people that have been complaining that even with Chromie time, you still get through too much too fast. So maybe this 1 through 60 thing will actually be sort of an improvement, because now you get another 10 levels worth of playing in those other zones. Might be cool. Partial old world revamp. Notable zones that are overhauled include Tanaris and Twilight Highlands. These will have content related to max level, and players will visit them briefly during questing. I would imagine that Tanaris would have been a starting zone since you're making a new freaking class. The Infinite Dragonflight has a major presence in Tanaris. Gadget's End is updated. It is a larger quest hub, but not as portrayed in Hearthstone, which I have no idea about. The cultists are once again a major player in Twilight Highlands. Other zones, such as Elven Forest, Durotar, Westfall, Duskwood, remains the same, but with improved graphics. It remains the same, but with improved graphics. Why? Many of the old buildings have been updated to modern graphics. This includes Stormwind and Orgrimmar. This sounds like like BS, because if you're going to update graphics, why are you just updating graphics? You know, it's like when they redid Orgrimmar and Stormwind and added all those stuffs and spikes and all that stuff, the fidelity of it obviously went up, but what my point is that there was a reason for them to touch those things. If there isn't a reason to mess with them, why go through the trouble of upresing certain areas and not others? Durotar with improved graphics. Wow, that sounds amazing. Elven Forest, cool. Westfall, that's still kind of cool. Duskwood sounds cool. Durotar, why, dude? Why? Cross-faction endgame gameplay. Raiding, dungeons, PvP, and other endgame content can be done in groups of both factions. Cannot be cross-faction grouped in war mode. Opposing faction cities are still hostile. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, it's not fine. I want to go all the way. You know what I mean? Major professions overhaul, large focus, multiple new developers recruited specifically for this. And we know this because they've announced this. They've announced this. So kudos to this author for noting that to add some credibility. Conclusion of Shadowlands 925, another one that insists that there's going to be a 925, and the pre-patch. Using the Forge of the First Ones, the jailer successfully drains Azeroth, severely injuring the planet. The wounds that were sealed have reemerged, and Azeroth is on the brink of dying again. After Zoval, the jailer is defeated, the First Ones, 3 of them, appear in the cinematic, resetting Zoval to his original deactivated form. He is not dead and will return in the future. Oh, that's an interesting take. That he's not dead. Okay. They'll probably kill him. There will be an epilogue in the form of 925, featuring a short questline centered around Tyrande, quote, forgiving Sylvanas, and Sylvanas looking for Nathanos. The patch will also include minor quality of life additions and time-walking BFA dungeons, including Mythic Plus and the Battle of Dazar Olor raid. Wait. Why? So they're gonna have in 925 BFA dungeons and Mythic Plus and time walking, and the Boda raid, but we've gone through a number of other expansions without other raids going the time walking route. So they're skipping a whole bunch of them and just going for, okay, we're going to do a raid thing. We'll just do Battle of Desire lore. Here you go, guys. I would have been happier with time walking Warfronts. That would have been dope. Recolored gear or something like that. Put us in a time walking Warfront and I'll have fun. Tyrande forgiving Sylvanas. Somehow I don't think Tyranda's going to like straight up kill her. But I still have a feeling that Sylvanas is going to leave the story for sure. I don't see a 925 happening though. That doesn't, to me, that doesn't make enough sense unless, of course, we, the team feels like it's going to take that long to produce a 10.0. But why slow themselves down even more by making a 925? That doesn't make as much sense for me. Anduin is, quote, saved, but he will not be himself. As the heroes of Azeroth return, the Stormwind nobles are skeptical of their king, instead giving their loyalty to Turalian. That makes sense to me, totally. Anduin will feel defeated and depressed about everything he did during his domination and will not fight it. King Greymane and Matthias Shaw is acting on Anduin's behalf to restore him to the throne. Tension in the alliance is growing. Now that sounds fun. The Scarlet Crusade is significantly growing in power in the background. Turalian plays a big part in this. That sounds interesting too. Although, where it leads could be like, hey, it's going to be a 10.1 or something like that. This is all I managed to get notes for. Everything was happening quickly. What? Everything was happening quickly, and we were not warned that they were going to spill the beans. Oh, right. This is the time has been going by so fast for me. This is the disgruntled senior level designer person. So this is all I managed to get notes for. Everything was happening quickly, and we were not warned that they were going to spill the beans. Right. This is all I managed to get notes for, but no one else in your raid, such as you or your two officers, bothered to open up OBS or Fraps or whatever you feel like using and hit boop, record. Come on, dude. Weak. Oh well. Yeah. That's dumb. If this was a real leak and they were just mouthing off like this dude just blitzed out of his mind. Hey guys, you want to know about the new expansion? Let's go. And then people were like, hell yeah, dude, let's hear everything you got. Start stream, and just go from there. Or publish it on YouTube with a dude's voice like super distorted or something like that, and done. That would have been it. Oh, we do have one more. Yes. Okay. Expansion leaked by Fired Blizzdev. Hello there. I got a message yesterday from an old friend of mine who doesn't work at Blizzard anymore. So dude just messages them out of the blue and says, hey, here's the new expansion. The new expansion is called World of Warcraft Homecoming. There will be a logo below, but now let's move on to the most interesting changes to the game. Rework Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. If we go back to level 50, rework the whole, damn it. We go back to level 50 and we have the option of leveling wherever you want to 60. Okay, I know I have a weird theory about how we go back to, about how Shadowlands is going to be put back inside Chromie time, but whatever. New Zone 2 are added on each continent. In one of the new dungeons, the last boss is a resurrected Hogger? Oh, is this one of those humor ones? I'll try to skim. Reworked professions, 2 new battlegrounds, and reworked PvP items. Cool 10-man dungeon with a unique drop. Okay, Dragon Isles later. Okay, that's an interesting take. Going to the Dragon Isles later on, and each patch unlocks another zone located there. The history is diverse to the refreshed zones, and we meet old friends and enemies. There will be something like a Mage Tower blockchain, but for 3 players, there will be different challenges that will be added with each patch. The rewards will be cosmetic. Additionally, if we complete a challenge in the current patch, it was added, we will get a FOMO version of the transmog or mount. Okay, so 3 mount. Okay, play a new neutral race for both factions, which will be introduced. So they wait. Why be coy? But what kind of leak is this? Okay, we're gonna be coy and not show anything. PvP activities in the open world, which introduce, thanks to which we'll be able to cooperate in the. Okay, so also faction grouping or something. Oh well, PvP activities in the open world, which change every few hours, which will temporarily disable flying in the zone in which it's currently taking place. War mode will be lots of fun doing that. Remember how you would fly over Wintergrasp by accident? You know, you're going to be dismounted. Oh no. And you're like, it's way too late. You're like, oh, F me, dude. The rewards for these activities will range from items to cosmetic from items to cosmetic items. Sylvanas is exiled to the Shadowlands by the Council of... apparently there's a council for Azeroth. Things have been happening while we were away from home. Because no one with common sense would like to stay there for any... I'm going to read the rest. Because, you know, I already dipped. I might as well finish. You know what I mean? In the last seconds of the battle with the jailer, he explains his motives to us. So we apologize for fighting him and let him finish his mysterious plan. Undeads and Night Elves are angry on their factions because the rest of the races do not want to start another war, so they decide to create a new capital city for them to destroy the Horde and Alliance. Oh, man. Hashtag T. Yeah, okay, so this is... Okay, that was fun. This is the beginning of leak season, and I can't wait for more. I don't know if you guys want to, you know, care for me to cover more of these like in an actual published video, or if I should just do this on stream and whatnot, but let me know what you think of any of these creations. Share it in a comment, like, subscribe, that sort of thing. I'm not going to put this onto the weekly, but this is a lot of fun. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.